Howdy, folks. Welcome to episode 2 of the Precariat Podcast. Today's episode is going to be exclusively about the precariat men that make under $50,000 a year. It appears that society has made a decision. If you are a man making under $50,000 a year, you are not a real man. You're expected to basically be a eunuch, neutered of ambition, or you're tolerated if you're gay, safe, and non-threatening. And what if you're neither? Then you get pushed out of sight and out of mind. The message is clear. You don't matter. Today we're going to talk about the disposability of working class men. Why they've been erased from the media, policy, and even relationships, and what that means for the rest of this society. Masculinity, unfortunately, is still measured by provision. But the economy has shifted. Factories have been outsourced, they're gone. Stable wages, gone. Cost of living, gone. Runaway inflation through the roof. As well as lots of immigration. But a man making $45,000 or $45K is seen as failing, even though that may have supported a family a generation ago. Rhetorical question. If masculinity is still defined by provision, what happens when provision is out of reach for so many men? For example, in the 20th century, working men were cultural icons. They were coal miners, they were auto workers, and they were construction hands, or they were factory workers. Today, working class men are invisible or reduced to jokes, villains, or deadbeats. Example, essential workers were praised during the pandemic, but quickly forgotten about once that crisis passed. So, when was the last time you saw a working class man as portrayed as heroic or not pathetic? Go ahead, I'll wait. Don't even get me started on modern dating apps and modern men and modern women. Modern dating apps and cultural scripts, income thresholds are openly stated. Under 50K, invisible in many women's eyes, regardless of loyalty, resilience, or potential. This creates a hierarchy. Men who are desirable, men who are optimal, and men who are disposable. Again, 80% of women go for only 20% of men these days. Question. If society treats millions of men as undateable, what will future families be as a result? Or will future families even really exist like that? Social policy in the United States is very family-oriented. Tax credits, child benefits, healthcare subsidies, temporary assistance for needy families, almost always built around couples and children. Single men under 50K fall through every single crack. There are the ghost class, relied on for labor, ignored socially, dismissed politically. You're only noticed if you break down or break bad. Or crash out, like they say. When men are told that they are worthless, they look for recognition elsewhere. Or they vote for populist candidates throughout the world. That is why populism, extremism, and angry politics grow. Society is both relying on them and terrified of them. What if let's say what happens to a nation when millions of men decide they have none left to lose? That's dangerous. You should never trust people in your life or around you that have nothing to lose, because they're going to drag you down. But overall, we talk about equality, but we don't often talk about dignity. We've created a society when men below a certain income aren't allowed to be visible. But a man is more than his paycheck. A man is more than his wallet. The precariat, the working class, are still the backbone of this country. And when you discard your backbone, don't be surprised when the whole body collapses. Thank you guys for listening. This is the Precariat Podcast, episode 2. Thank you for tuning along. Ciao.